2021 is certainly shaping up to be the year of the great American road trip once again.
On this edition of Let's Talk Cincy, people planning the great getaway as places around the country ease their COVID-19 restriction.
People really are ready to get on the road and get out and explore America.
From WLWT, this is Let's Talk Cincy, presented by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put our financial strength behind you.
It has been a long year and a half. We have lost fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we've spent months separated from family and friends. But with the promise of the vaccine, America is reopening. Hello, everyone. I'm Curtis Fuller, and welcome to Let's Talk Cincy. After being cooped up for so long, we are now looking for ways to escape the COVID quarantine. We'll show you great places to vacation right here in Greater Cincinnati. No matter what your financial situation might be, you can break out of this pandemic without breaking the bank. Stephen Albritton has a few travel hacks to keep more cash in your wallet.
Limber up, because today we're showing you how to stretch your dollar to enjoy even more fun. You just have to know where to look, and a little pre-planning can go a long way. First, let's start right here in Cincinnati. Places you may drive by or drive through almost daily and never take the time to stop and enjoy the history at your fingertips. Walking tours of historic churches, neighborhoods, and even the underground will only set you back a couple of hours of time and $30 to $40. Who doesn't love to eat well while traveling? But if you're doing it on a budget, plan ahead. Check menus online to screen prices. Also, compare the lunch versus dinner menus. Doing a late lunch versus a dinner could save you a bundle, or easy enough, throw a few sandwiches in a backpack. When you go could make the difference as well. Think of a matinee movie versus an evening. Prices differ. Check ahead to see if your event or museum charges prices for different times or ages. And be sure to check for discounts for students, military, or others. Trying to get away? Think about the dates of your stay. For instance, here's a look at Houston Woods Lodge in Oxford. Golf, beaches, hiking, and so much more. A 2-queen-bed room Thursday through Sunday will run you $189 a night. Move that same trip to a Sunday through Wednesday, you'll save $120 as the price drops to $149 per night.
Pretty interesting, huh? Thanks, Stephen. You can also find apps like Groupon, which consistently offer deals. A call to a visitor center or their website could also yield coupons and even local freebies. And don't forget to check with your employer to see if they have any discounts that are exclusive to employees. Now, don't be surprised if you get a call from some of your out-of-state family and friends saying they are planning a trip to Ohio. You see, Ohio launched a campaign to attract more people to check out everything we have to offer. From the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Pro Football Hall of Fame to the history of the Underground Railroad along the Ohio River and all the state parks and amusement parks in between. There is something for everyone here in Ohio. And Governor Mike DeWine hopes this campaign highlights Ohio as people look to start traveling again or look to potentially relocate.
But they come here and they say, boy, people in Ohio are just so friendly. I just can't believe it. You know, they literally are walking downtown in Cincinnati. And, you know, if they get lost or something, they ask someone, tell them where to go. They tell them, just very, very friendly. I think that's just what we are naturally in Ohio. Sometimes we take that for granted. Sometimes we take our state for granted. But it's just a phenomenal place to live, to raise your kids. Phenomenal place.
Absolutely. You know, the state is hoping the $4 million marketing campaign will pay off. And don't forget to consider our own backyard as you make your vacation plans. You will discover great Cincinnati hidden gems, and also it will provide a boost to local tourism. Here's Karen Johnson with more.
This is a basket with onion rings. All right. One with fries.
Typical afternoon lunch crowd at Quatman Cafe in Mason. As summer approaches, folks here expect to be flipping a lot more burgers.
We're just excited and we're preparing for a very busy spring and summer.
Quatman is in an ideal location, not just for locals, but tourists as well.
Right now, the Midwest is #1 in terms of desirable areas to visit.
That's in the United States, pulling ahead of the South, West Coast, and Northeast. Phil Smith, president and CEO of the Warren County Convention and Visitors Bureau, says the pandemic is playing a role in how and where people travel.
The rural and the suburban areas are much more attractive to travelers right now. That's Warren County.
Instead of crowded big cities, Smith says people are booking destinations where they can enjoy nature, where they can kayak, camp, hike, or head to an amusement park. Smith says boomers are leading the pack in terms of who is traveling.
I think because they're the ones getting the vaccine first, they're ready to go.
And they're opting to drive rather than fly. Im recently met someone from Michigan who changed his travel plans.
The same thing. He was a little leery about getting on the plane. They actually canceled a trip to Disney World and ended up at Kings Island.
Smith says another boost to the local economy is expected to come from youth sports. Warren County's new sports park already booked all summer.
This year, our youth sports program alone should generate 100,000 room nights. So we expect to have a good summer here in Warren County.
Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Well, up next, more travel destinations that are very close to home and won't break your budget when Let's Talk Cincy continues. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cincy. We have another great place for you to visit right here in Greater Cincinnati. It's called Big Bone Lick State Park and historical site. It is a place where you can get a chance to come close to our nation's national mammal. Big Bone Lick is only about a half hour from downtown Cincinnati, right over in Boone County, Kentucky. Meredith Stutz gives you an up-close look at what you will experience there.
We are here inside of the campground store. A great place to start out your day if you want to pick up a snack, maybe some bug spray, or even some putt-putt supplies before you head out to the wild side. Now, just as a point of reference, Big Bone Lick State Historical Site is about 30 minutes from Cincinnati. In addition to camping, there's a pool for campers, 3 playgrounds open for everyone, and close to 5 miles of hiking trails. While the flowers are in bloom, it's the bison that are the real highlight. Currently, there are about 10 to 15 of these incredible creatures. The park calls them the living link to the Ice Age. Male and females can weigh more than 1,200 pounds, but the stars of the show are the little ones.
Coming to the park, we of course have a 62-site campground, which on weekends is sometimes even difficult to find availability, but during the week you can almost be assured that you'll find a camping space. We have many different and a variety of walking trails, levels of difficulty, and most of them are relatively easy to walk.
In case you're wondering, like I was, the name of one of the new bisons is named Millie, and there will be naming competitions for the rest of them. Now, for planning purposes, if you want to take a hike to hopefully see those baby bison or check out the Salt Spring Diorama Museum, that could take about an hour to an hour and a half. And looking ahead to next month on June 12th is an event called Discovery Day, and that's where kids can get an up-close personal look at not only Ice Age history but also Native American culture, and cost for that is $3 per ticket. Reporting in Union, Meredith Stutz, WLWT News 5.
Now, if you've been feeling a little landlocked during this pandemic, you are not alone. But you don't have to board a plane or drive through the night to reach a beach. You see, in fact, there's one right in our backyard. All it takes is a short drive along Interstate 71, and you will find Cedar Creek State Park. This place is always packed with boats, kayaks, sunbathers, and folks looking to have another historic summer. Because of the pandemic and lockdown restrictions, Cedar Creek says it had its busiest summer in decades just last year. Decades. And with good reason. With more than 10,000 explorable acres, there's so much to do here, all while spreading out, including taking advantage of the swimming and beach area, plus more than 60 miles of hiking, biking, and horseback riding trails. There's camping available and kayak rental once the weather warms up. Plus, This year-round indoor facility reopened with CDC guidelines. Now, this means the ice cream scoop shop inside the marina is back to provide some sweet taste with all the serenity.
It's just so peaceful. There's a lot of nature. We have deer and eagles. I see eagles every day, and ospreys, geese. And it's just so relaxing. People love to come out and fish. We have a swimming beach. And again, it's a very spacious beach where you can just spread out and enjoy the sun.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places, a real nice place. By the way, if you want to book one of those 287 campsites, we're told book early because you better believe it, they go fast. Well, up next, travel experts sharing important information, what you need to know if you're headed to a vacation at one of those popular destinations when Let's Talk Cincy continues. With COVID-19 restrictions easing, AAA is giving us some insight about summer travel. Planning is more important than ever if you want to avoid travel anxiety.
2021 is certainly shaping up to be the year of the Great American Road Trip once again. AAA has seen an increase in triptych requests where we're almost back to the 2019 levels. So people really are ready to get on the road and get out and explore America. Many people are looking to take their families on a theme park vacation, as evidenced by our request to the Central Florida area. So Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, they're very popular for families this time of year. Many people are going to national parks. They want to take their families, experience the beauty of the national parks, do some outdoor activities like biking and swimming and hiking, and they're interested in going and staying close to the area. While they're interested in going to the national parks, we've seen an uptick in camping vacations. So if you're someone that likes to camp, now's the time to make that reservations. Campgrounds are certainly booking up for the season. So if that's something you want to do, make that reservation now. And people who have historically camped may be looking at doing RV travel for the first time ever. So if you're looking to rent an RV or use an RV for the first time, AAA can help you by helping you rent an RV. We can help you take plan the route to your destination and also help you with reservations along the way. So it's a great opportunity to get out there with your family, still stay in your little bubble, but have a great vacation. And one thing I want to mention about domestic travel trends is the car rental industry. So during the pandemic, many car rental agencies sold off their inventory. So the lower availability plus the increase in demand has driven prices really high in the car rental world. So if you're looking to rent a car for your vacation, you want to make sure you do that at the beginning stages of your planning. Don't wait till the end. That will help ensure that a car is available, or look to an alternate form of transportation for your vacation.
So people, quite frankly, they want to resume cruising. And so they're more than happy to take an advantage of a cruise and going to popular destinations. So the demand for cruising is coming back. People have sat out for almost 18 months to 2 years. So cruising, again, is a popular choice for a lot of our travelers, and our bookings are reflecting that.
Many theme parks still have capacity limits, regardless of what the state in which the theme park is located has done. For example, Walt Disney World and Universal are still at 35% capacity, even though Florida has opened up almost to 100%. So if you're going to visit a theme park this summer, it's important not just to buy that ticket, but to have the ticket and reach out and make the reservation. Most theme parks, even local theme parks, are requiring reservations, and that's how they're going to handle the capacity limits that they have in place.
People were already booking fairly heavily on the domestic side, local and regional travel. But as borders start to open, as we talked about, international borders opening, we're going to start to see European travel open up as well. But in comparison to previous years, we're going to see, obviously, a lot more travel than we saw last year in 2020. And I think even because of the pent-up demand and because of the opportunities for bubble travel, to travel with friends or family, I think we're going to have a tremendous summer as kids finish school up for the year and families can get out there and travel. So I look for it to be as strong as 19, if not more.
Well, now that you are ready to hit the road, how to protect your trip and so much more, Stephen Albritton breaks down some of the more well-known and even a few off-the-beaten-path trips for you and your family.
It's time to grab the keys, load the car, and hit the road for not even a full tank of gas. To our northwest, an hour's drive from Cincinnati, Houston Woods in Oxford, Ohio. Grab the mountain bike or golf clubs for this one. Houston Woods offers the outdoor experience, or if you want to put a foot in both worlds, a stay at the lodge will keep you out of the elements if you choose. Now, if you're looking to splurge and feel like a king, queen, prince, or princess, you're going to head south to the Kentucky Castle. A mere 90 minutes to Versailles, Kentucky will take you to an elegant stay in an actual castle. Eat, drink, hit the spa, enjoy a murder mystery dinner, or even a magical tea time with Cinderella. There's always room for education and fun at the same time. A 90-minute trip to Columbus and the Center for Science and Industry. With so much to offer, their grand reopening to the public on June 3rd will also feature the American Museum of Natural History's dinosaur exhibit, where you can come up close and personal with the creatures that used to walk the earth. $25 for adults, $20 for 2 to 12-year-olds. Heading back south into Kentucky, how about a few nights in a treehouse or even a dome? Red River Gorge offers all the hiking and exploring you could want, but make it a unique experience by staying overnight in a treehouse. Also, a dome under the stars could be the perfect experience for you and the family to reconnect to nature in your own way. Jumping back into Ohio, let's go underground. Old Man's Cave in Hocking Hills will allow you to do just that. Hiking trails will lead you to where one of the area's pioneers used to make his home inside a cave. Along with rock climbing, fishing, and more, it's another perfect getaway for the family.
All right, thanks, Stephen. Of course, we took you several places in just a few moments, but the bottom line is with a little research, your next family trip could be just a mouse click away. Up next, a local teacher making a trip of a lifetime, all for a very good cause when Let's Talk Cincy continues. Now, we want to hear from you. Email us your ideas at ltc@WLWT.com. And remember, you can always watch full episodes or get more information on WLWT.com/Let's Talk Cincy. You can also listen to Let's Talk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Well, kicking cabin fever, there's an archaeological site up in Dayton, Ohio, that's as focused on preserving the past as it is on education and respecting the future, and its leaders say it needs your help. Sunwatch Indian Village Archaeological Park is reconstructed to show what real housing and building plans look like 800 years ago. For history, the land almost became a city water treatment facility, but was stopped once enough evidence of the village was found and preserved. The key find of importance was the center solar pole, which acted as a sundial of sorts. Inside the museum shows other tools, corn planting, strategies, pottery, and weapons found. Leaders here say this was just one village of many up and down the Cincinnati and Dayton area hundreds of years ago. Historians say settlers and the American government forcibly removed native tribes from their homelands for centuries. Now, new Sunwatch leaders are intentionally including Native American input into better ways to present the village to the world.
Including Native voices at Sunwatch is very important for us to further understand the history that we're trying to interpret and to make sure we're giving an accurate representation of what was excavated here. And I also think it's really important for Native American people who were displaced from this region to reconnect with their ancestral lands and the archaeology.
Very interesting, huh? Collins says while this is not an active archaeological site, now shifting to better educate and preserve what's left, which is why including Native leadership to the conversations is crucial. Of course, if you would like to visit the village and museum, tickets are $7 and just free for kids 6 and under. If you're needing another place to unplug, why not visit Rabbit Hash, Kentucky? This could be the place for you. It's a great place down there. It's less than an hour from Cincinnati and right across the river from Rising Sun, Indiana. Not only are there peaceful river views, but there are also great offerings for day trips with friends or, yes, the kids. But the crown jewel of this hidden gem is the Rabbit Hash General Store. It sure is. We spoke with the owner, who says they have a cold L8 waiting just for you. Step inside and back in time with toys and treats from decades past. The Rabbit Hash mare, by the way, is a French bulldog named Wilbur. You can meet him upon request at the General Store, so call ahead. The store is open every day from 11 until 5. And we end our show today with a story about a longtime Cincinnati public school teacher who is retiring, but in some ways you might say his journey is just beginning. His name is Mike Finnegan. He's a Withrow High School fitness instructor, showing how his students and this pandemic are leading him in a new direction.
It's a 3,000-mile journey, and it's really going to be up to God how fast I can do it.
Mike Finnegan is a teacher, combining his love for cycling, fitness, and his students. This pandemic has led him to start a scholarship and take a once-in-a-lifetime journey.
We're going to be riding across the United States from Santa Monica to D.C. to raise awareness and money for a scholarship that I put together, the Mike Finnegan Health and Wellness Scholarship, that was really conceived through the pandemic and realizing the difficulties that the minority community had, the devastation that COVID-19 had on that community.
Finnegan is a member of the Major Taylor Cycling Club. The members will be cheering for him coast to coast.
He's very dedicated and devoted to this mission, his vision, and I'm very excited for him.
He's received several cash donations and sponsorships, but his most unique gift might have come from two friends.
We're going to give you our camper van for $1. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we've had our season with it, and we know that you guys need it, so we're just going to give it to you.
Finnegan says maybe his biggest supporters will be the young people who he has always tried to inspire. Now, they'll be rooting him on.
Because they're a part of me. I've taught over probably 10,000 students is what I've calculated. And, I want to be an example to them one last time and say, Mr. Finnegan, you're 61 and you're going to ride across the United States on your bike? I mean, they think I'm crazy, but they're excited.
And we're excited for him. Good luck, Mike. Well, that's all the time we have for you now. Have a nice day.